Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Reynolds with Board, Better Off Reading Every Day. Today's stories 402 and 403. First one is The Best Story by Eileen Spinelli, illustrated by Ann Whisseldorf. And our second story is Read It, Don't Eat It by Ian Schoneher. Let me open it out. Gonna shuffle them up. See which one goes first. Alrighty, so it is The Best Story. The Red Brick Library was having a contest. Write the best story. Win first prize. First prize was a ride on the Super Duper Looper roller coaster with my favorite author, Anne Miles, who wrote the Runaway Roller Coaster. Won. First prize, don't get any better than that. I am home, went to my room, shut the door. I ran home. I went to my room. I shut the door. I sharpened 5 pencils, opened my notebook to a brand new page and thought and thought and thought. And all I could think was this writing stuff was hard and lonely. Maybe I needed help. I told my brother Tim about the contest. The best stories, said my brother Tim, have lots of action. So I wrote a lot of action into my story. I wrote about a bus hurling down the highway with no one at the wheel. I added a tornado and a pirate and a great white shark. But the story didn't seem quite right. So I asked my dad, and he said the best stories have plenty of humor. So I changed the great white shark to a monkey, and I put the monkey at the wheel of the bus, and I turned the tornado into turnips, and I dressed the pirate in polka dot pajamas. Dad laughed so hard he popped the shirt button. Even so, this story didn't feel quite right either. So I gave the bus a flat tire. I sent the monkey to the funeral of his pet goldfish. I turned the turnips into onions, and I made the pirate chop everyone. There were lots of tears, but the story still wasn't right. My teenage cousin Annika said, I have news for you. It is not romantic, it's a loser. So the pirate introduced the monkey to his sister Grace, and they fell in love. And I turned the onions into wedding invitations, and everyone lived happily ever after. Finally, my story was ready, so I read it to my family. Not enough action, said my brother Tim. Maybe the monkey can fall into the wedding cake, said Dad. That would really be funny. It's hard to cry at a wedding when the groom is a monkey, said Aunt Jane. Annika said it would be perfect if I added a kiss. In all this time, my mother hadn't said a word, so I asked her, what do you think is the best story? She gave me a hug. I think the best story is one that comes from the heart, your heart. That night, after supper, I looked into my own heart and rewrote my story. No monkey, no pirate, no more wedding invitations, no more happily ever after. My new best story is about my family and my two best friends, Tara and Josh. It's about my cat Ollie, who sleeps on his back and snow days, and toast with strawberry jam. It's about fireworks and rainbows and bike rides. My biggest problem was keeping the story short. Once I started pulling things out of my heart, it was hard to stop. When my story was finished, I turned it into the judges. Maybe I'll win the roller coaster ride with Ann Miles, and maybe I won't. Either way, I'll be happy. I'll be a winner because the story I wrote is my own, no, not somebody else's, and that makes it the best. My favorite part of this book is when her mom tells her, she asks her mom what she thinks about the story, and her mom says, "She gave me a big hug. I think the best story is one that comes from the heart, your own heart." And then there was when she's writing from her heart, and she says, "My biggest problem was keeping the story short. Once I started pulling things out of my heart, it was hard to stop. When my story was finished, I turned it into the judges." Beautiful. And then at the very end, "Maybe I'll win that roller coaster ride with Ann Miles, and maybe I won't. Either way, I'll be happy. I'll be a winner because the story I wrote is my own, not somebody else's, and that makes it the best story." The best story. Is that not beautiful, boys and girls? That's the first one. Second one is read it, don't eat it. You are holding a book. What should you do with it? Open it and you will find out. Read it, don't eat it. No dog ears, please. Find someplace else to sneeze. Borrow, don't steal. Try not to squeal. Rips and tears magically heal. Don't overdo it, just renew it. Really, now there's nothing to it. Don't overdo it, just renew it. Really, there's nothing to it. Leave no trace, or at least erase. Don't censor, delete, or deface. It's not a platter or a stool. Doesn't he look like King Julian? Oh, God. Be careful with it at the pool. Don't leave it in the rain or sun. Please return it when you're done. Share with a friend, a sister or brother. Now go out and get another. Read it, don't eat it. Ian Shanahan grew up reading near Locktown, New Jersey. He has written and illustrated 2 books, Cat and Mouse, Pip and Squeak, and illustrated numerous books by other authors, including Little Raccoon, Big Questions by Miriam Shelley, and Artist Lives in Woodside, Queens. Boys and girls, what a coincidence that Miss Reynolds used to live in Woodside, Queens. That's where I got my first apartment when I turned 21. Woodside, Queens, yes. So this book is good stuff. Boys and girls, I chose these 2 books because they're both about books and stories and reading. And I know that we just crossed over 400 books, and I always want to say to you that I feel like, yes, I've read a lot of books, but also I feel like I have learned so much. Oops. I'm constantly learning every time I'm reading to you guys. And that's what I always want to stress. I want to get a little something up here, which is what I'm learning when I'm learning, because I'm learning just like you're learning. I always want to get a little something in that sweet little brain of yours. And then I want to put a big something in that heart of yours. And then I want to make you laugh. So when my books fall down, or I mumble my words, or I'm all silly, just like that, don't be afraid to laugh at me. That's part of the big 3 L's that I strive for whenever I read to you. Learn a little something, love a lot, and laugh a lot. That's all I'm looking for. And that's why I do this every single day. Better Off Reading every day. Now, even if you don't see me every day on here, you can always pull me up on YouTube and watch me every day. You don't have to wait till I post a book. You can just watch me every single day. There's over 400 books on here. Guarantee you will find one that you like. You'll find one that makes you laugh. You'll find one that makes you love. And you'll find one that makes you learn. I'm positive of it. And best of all, it's Miss Reynolds with B.O.R.E.D. Better Off Reading every day. My biggest joys in life has been my daughter and my family and ice cream and reading. Not necessarily in that order. So, you think about what your biggest joys in life are and enjoy them, boys and girls. If it's hugging and kissing mom and dad, you are still allowed to do that. If it's going to school and being safe, you are still allowed to do that. You just have to try your best. There is a teacher out there who is really looking forward to seeing you. Whether it's on Zoom or in an actual classroom in a building, whatever it is, he or she is looking forward to seeing you. I can tell you, because one of my biggest joys is going to school and being with my kids. It brings me so much joy, and I started that last week. I didn't realize, or I did realize, how much I missed it. But what I really miss is not being able to hug my kids. So, with this 403 book, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my arms and shout out a hug to you. and tell you how much I love you and how much I miss being with you. My arms are coming up and wide, and I'm coming around to get that hug that I so badly want from you. I'll see you soon, boys and girls. Keep reading, keep learning, keep loving, and keep laughing. Bored with Miss Reynolds. Bye.